We good. All right, Shalom with the Brothers of Great Millstone Church in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, we want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Wahab, Rakah, Kodash,
which is the correct names of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit in the ancient Hebrew tongue. I also want to give double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom must do honors and respect to all the sincere brothers out there that's also laboring in His work. So yeah, we back in the spirit of Yahweh Shah, which are pursuant to Revelation, the 19th chapter, and the 10th verse, the spirit of prophecy. And that's what we want to go into. Because right now, the prophecies is unfolding, you know? And what you're witnessing is the beginning stages of the destruction of America. When you go into the scriptures, that's the whole buildup, all right? For this place of America to be destroyed, which is going to usher in the return of our Lord Yahweh Shah, all right? So, pretty much, the Lord set up this guy Donald Trump to really be that spearhead to hasten the prophecies, man, which we believe in the spirit. We believe that under this cabinet, you know, that America is going to be destroyed. Now, Yahweh Shah can do whatever he wish. He could bring in another president to carry out his will. But we believe through the spirit and through filtering things through the scriptures and through the prophecies that this guy, Donald Trump, must be the guy. You know, because what he exhibit is that high level of pride. And when, matter of fact, let's go to that real quick. That's how the spirit works. You can have, you know, spirit have you go to scripture. Get Proverbs 16:4. I mean, that's like probably 16 and 18. Yeah.
Okay, this Proverbs 16 verse 18. Pride goes for destruction, and then Holy Spirit before a fall.
Right, so that's the chronological order, if you will. Before destruction is what? Pride. So right now, America and the so-called white man, Esau, is at the height of his pride. So obviously, destruction is on the horizon, man. See what I'm saying? And Donald Trump epitomizes pride. So that's why we believe through the spirit, this guy Donald Trump was set up to be that poster child, if you will, to America being led head first into World War III, man. All right. Now, this guy was set up, and he has done nothing but stirring up all the nations. Since he's been in power, he's been stirring up the nations, man, including his allies. Because according to the prophecies, not only is America's enemies going to bring destruction to this place, but his allies as well. So, you got 3 something?
I got this one.
Okay. Now, yeah, you know what? Go ahead and get that. Yep.
Yeah, this is Rock chapter 10 and verse 3. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people.
Right, an unwise king destroyeth his people. Matter of fact, somebody give me Ecclesiastes 4 and 13 real quick. We're going to go back to that. Ecclesiastes in the Bible, 4 and 13. The scripture said, unwise king destroyeth his people. That's why the scripture talks about the blind leading the blind. You know, everything is about leadership, you know, and forerunners. You got people that's going to be at the forefront of certain movements. You got guys that's following niggas that's off. Like, just say, for an example, these guys, ITR. Well, they following a fool. So what's going to happen? They're going to die in the pit. So when you look at that as a whole, in its totality, you Americans have subscribed, especially you Edomites, man. You subscribe to that whole idea of making America great again. When the writing on the wall, ain't no way this place is going to be made great again, man. America done had its time. It came and went. The heyday is, the honeymoon is over, man. Winter time with this bitch about to be destroyed, all right? So give me what I said, Ecclesiastes 4 and 13.
Yeah, it's Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 13. Better is a poor and wise child than an old and foolish king, who will no more be admonished.
Right, and that's this guy Donald Trump, man. he would not be admonished. There's nothing you can tell this guy. Really, there's nothing you can tell Esau. See? So it's better to be a wise child, which that's symbolic to the elect. The Lord compared the elect as babes, man. Right? That's why the Lord said, who shall ever offend one of these little ones? See what I'm saying? But this old, foolish king comes in the form of Donald Trump. Really, when you go one step further, the elites. But in this case, the elites got this guy set up as a puppet. And guess who else got him really set up as a puppet? Yahweh outside. All right? Because he was set up to stir the pot. So go back to Ecclesiastes.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 3. And that wise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
Right, so an unwise king destroyed his people, man. All right? And what makes this man unwise? You know, his outlook, his policies. He's in these countries over these different sanctions, which, Lord will, we're going to go into. And when you think of like certain things that's on the surface, right? This guy wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning sending out fucking tweets, man. When you go on the previous presidents, they have certain things that'll be classified. Like you don't reach no further than their cabinet, you know, or their top advisors. So that's proof right there that Yahweh outside is grooming and shaping and molding this place to be destroyed, man. Because the spirit, the guy that's spearheading this thing is unwise. Matter of fact, read that one more time. Huh?
Okay, this is Sirach chapter 10 and verse 3. It says, an unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
Right, and that's dealing with in the kingdom. You know, with Yahweh spearhead, you know, leading the charge. And what's going to make us wise is simply we're going to be keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shah. All right? So, anybody got a precept they want to bring up? If not, let's go into the information we got.
All right, Con, this is from The Guardian. And the title says, Iran sanctions committee says world opposes every Trump decision.
Read that one more time.
Con, it says committee says world opposes every Trump decision.
Right, so the whole world opposes Trump's decisions. When the article came out, you got the date?
November the 3rd of 2018.
Right, so that ain't been 48 hours ago, man. All right, so this is fresh, hot off the presses, man. This is the current news. This is what's going on now, man. While you people out there watching reality TV or some bullshit, you know what I mean, watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, or some reality show, going shopping. Meanwhile, the vibration on the planet Earth is war. Matter of fact, give me Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter real quick. Start at the top before we get into that article.
Yeah, this Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and 1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing.
What verse you at?
Verse 6.
Jump to the 8th verse.
I kind of Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace.
A time of war and a time of peace. And obviously, we're in a time of war. Give me that in Ecclesiastes, not 2nd Ezra 9. The end.
The 2nd Ezra chapter 9.
Verse 5.
Yeah, 5. It says, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
Right, and the word manifest means to make obvious or to make clear. So it's being perfectly made clear that we at the end, you know, that World War III is about to reach its peak, it's about to reach its climax, and when the smoke clears and the dust settles, America's going to be left totally desolate. But it's going to be a build-up. And the Lord is letting it play out, play by play. All right? And really, this is not for you simple jakes. You regular niggas out there. Because your mind, you're not watching for current events. You ain't got a feel for the pulse, the temperature of the planet Earth right now. You don't really know what's going on, man. This is really for the serious-minded brothers out there that's watching for the return of Yahushua and watching the prophecies, man. And if you really being circumspect, you will see that the Lord is strategically putting everything in place. And this guy Trump making these calculated moves, which is sloppy, you know what I mean, and feeble at best, then this proof that the Lord put the spirit on this guy to be the one to be at the forefront of getting America destroyed.
That's right.
Unwise king destroyed his people. So get that, go into that. Read the title one more time.
It says Iran sanctions. It says committee says world opposes every Trump decision.
So the world opposes every Trump decision, man. Which that could be directly filtered through the scriptures right there. You approach any of these bugged out ass niggas into Islam or the Moors or whatever crazy shit they into, and you ask them, well, where do your doctrine fit in? Where can your doctrine tell me about what's going on today with Trump and the fact that we at the brinks and the cuffs of World War III? Where could your doctrine do to help the competitive? Them niggas ain't gonna know what to say, man. But when you read the scriptures, everything we reading right here in this article, which is current news, could be filtered through the scriptures, man. And we gonna show you that through the spirit and power of Yahweh. So read it one more time. I can go ahead and read it.
It says, committee says world opposes every Trump decision. I go to subtitle. It says Ayatollah says U.S. has failed to dominate Iran on eve of reinstatement of oil and banking sanctions. Iran's Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said on Saturday that Donald Trump's policies face opposition across the world.
Right, across the world. And really, when you go into it, starting with the EU, man. Because when you read more of that article and the news that's going out, Trump pretty much got 8 nations exempt to those sanctions. And the EU nations ain't a part of them, man. All right, what Trump is trying to, pretty much, if you do any business with Iran, then you're going to suffer for that. But even America's allies is saying, man, the hell with you, man. We got to look out for our people. And that's a conflict of interest right there. Before any war is started, there's going to be economical differences and trade wars to precede the actual war. So that's why you see these Edomites, like a lot of these Edomites who got some type of mental capacity, they actually into stuff like this, man. Jake don't research stuff like this. All right. The reason why a lot of these Edomites is interested in it because they know that they livelihood, things can change. The very plateau of America, things can change because of the things that's happening right now. That's why you got a lot of these devils, the so-called white man out there that's willing to start another civil war. They'll do whatever it takes to get Trump impeached because they see what Trump doing, it can escalate to bigger consequences, man. But guess what? It's all in the scriptures. This gotta happen. This is that slippery slope that Yahweh said Esau on, man. All right? So go ahead up.
Yeah, guys, Iran's Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said on Saturday that Donald Trump's policies face opposition across the world as Washington prepared to reimpose sanctions on Iran's vital oil exporting and financial sectors. State television reported. It says,
and Trump, when they hit you up with these sanctions, that's affecting your very livelihood of that country. So what you think these countries gonna do, man? Really, when you think about it, this guy Trump, he living in the past, man. All right, this would have worked 15, 20 years ago, but now these different nations, they got their military arsenal beefed up, man. So you think they're gonna sit back and let their country suffer because this motherfucker Trump is coming with these, you know, that protective hegemony of America? Matter of fact, give me Joel the 3rd chapter. Is that you know what I want? Let the weak sound strong. See, because these other nations, right? You could have got this over on them 15 years ago. Hit them up with sanctions, and they would have complied to Trump. You know, once they start feeling those hunger pains, if you will, they would have eventually complied. You know, but now you think these nations gonna sit back and let Trump hit them up with some damn tariff? No, man. They're gonna take it to the next level, man. And really, that's the spirit of Yahweh Shah right there. All right. And it tells you that in Revelation 17 chapter. The Lord said He put it in their mind to fulfill His will. So give me that, whoever got it.
Here comes Joel 3, and I'm going to start at verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men.
Yeah, and that's what's happening. The mighty men is being awakened. That's why when you watch, really you got to watch these international, like alternative media outlets like BBC, Al Jazeera or something, man. And when you watch it, you'll see what's the first thing they do? They parade their soldiers up and down the street. And they got the nuclear ICBM missile coming right down the street, man. Well, that's scripture being fulfilled, man. This is the most powerful book on the planet Earth right here, man. Matter of fact, give me that real quick. Somebody give me that None shall want her mate. This is the most powerful book on the planet Earth, man. Because everything that's unfolding here on the planet Earth, we can go to the source and we can give you the answers to why it's happening, man. A nigga out there can go to the book of the dead and tell us why the Ayatollah Khomeini is looking to destroy America. You can't go to the book of the dead and get that, you know? You can't go to the Holy Quran, the so-called Holy Quran, man. And speaking of that BS, this clown, Louis Farrakhan, whenever he make an appearance, he quoting out of the scriptures, man. I challenge you, man. I challenge you. Somebody show me where this clown went into the Quran over the last 15, 20 years, man. Never, man. So it show you, when you go into these movies, it's all, like if it's any type of overtone of the Bible, the book of Eli, it show you that the Bible is the most powerful book on the planet Earth. Why? Because the spirit of Yahweh Shah rests in this book. All right? So give me what you got.
This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16.
Yep.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail.
And that's dealing with what? The prophecies. No one of these shall fail. Go ahead.
Said none shall want her mate, but my mouth it have commanded, and his spirit it have gathered them.
Right. So no one of these shall fail. Meaning what? Yahweh Shah spoke it, and he declared it, and it's going to come to pass. Somebody can hold that on there too. I think Isaiah 46 and 10. So go back to where we was at.
Yeah, kind of says.
I think, did you finish that, Joel?
Oh, correct.
Joel, yeah, finish that off.
Yeah, because this Joel 3, I'm going to start back at 9 again. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men.
Wake up the mighty men, and that's the vibration on the planet Earth. All right, go ahead.
Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords.
And that's dealing with what? These different nations have turned all their resources into the nuclear capability. They have boosted and boosted up their military arsenal, man. So now the shit that this clown Donald Trump trying to impose, this ain't gonna work. Why? Because they got the means to fight back, man. And when you go into Iran play a major part in this whole thing, man. The Lord put the spirit on Iran to be really, when you think about it, Iran was the first of the nations to deem Esau as the great Satan, man. You think that's a coincidence? And we're going to show you in the scriptures why Iran play a part in this thing, man. All right? And when you go into it, the Lord preserved Iran because I think all the way up until 1970, the late 70s, they were still referring to themselves as the Persians. So that's spirit right there, man. When you read the scriptures, the prophets will tell you how Esau put a covering cast over the whole world. So these different nations weren't calling themselves by their biblical nationality. Really, the only ones who were still doing that was the Persians, man. See? So, you do that? Let's go back to the art.
All right, kind. It says, Khomeini said the United States had failed to reassert its domination over Iran since the country's 1979 Islamic Revolution that toppled the U.S. back.
1979. You just mentioned it. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
The world opposes every decision made by Trump.
The world opposes every decision made by Trump. That's not just dealing with the enemies of America, but that's also dealing with the allies of America. See? Matter of fact, let's go back to the scriptures. Go to Jeremiah, Jeremiah 50 chapter. I think you started at the 13th verse. Or probably around the 12th verse and read that. So the world, the Lord is stirring up the world. Matter of fact, give me Genesis, the 4th chapter, and I think maybe the 13th verse, something like that. We're talking about Cain, said whoever shall find me. So the Lord is strategically and methodically, this is a surgical strike from Yahweh Shah, man. Why? Because the Lord is a man of war. He's the ultimate tactician when it comes to war, man. All right? So the Lord instigated this. Go ahead, up.
This is Jeremiah 50. I'm going to start at verse 11. It says, because you were glad, because you rejoiced, or you destroyers of my inheritance.
And that's dealing with who? Esau, man. Esau is responsible for destroying the heritage of Yahweh Shah. Reason why you niggas walking around Japan sagging, smoking blunts and shit, right? And even you niggas who claim to be conscious, the reason why you call yourself Nuwabian. I'm gonna go deeper than that. Nigga come step to you with some heavy shit, you know what I mean? Stupid shit with a top hat, with a crescent moon. Well, the reason why that's so is the paper trail go back to Esau. Esau destroyed the heritage of Yahweh Shah. It started psychologically. Go ahead, up.
It says, because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass.
And that's Esau, man. When you go into the blessing of Esau, does it not say the fatness of the earth? In spirit, we went into that over at camp. Go ahead, up.
It says, and below as bulls. It says,
really, when you go into that, they just being fattened for the slaughter. When you consider a farmer, a person with a certain livestock, they'll get the cow and stuff fat, and that cow get proud. Really, when you go into it, you got all the cows. That one cow, he eating good, and he be thinking like, yeah, my master feed me. He must love me. See? That's why Esau thanked the Lord with him, man. But he fattened them for the slaughter. Go ahead, Doc.
It says, your mother shall be sore confounded.
That's dealing with Britain, which that's one of the nations that's upset with this fucking guy Donald Trump, man. Which we love Donald Trump. All right? We love the fact that the Lord has set Donald Trump up. You know why? Because Obama was bullshitting around with his foot went on the pedal. He was driving safe. Trump got in that motherfucking smashed out, man. So Trump, hey man, Trump is on. Hey, we with Trump all day, man. And it'll be a surprise to us, man, if Trump is not the guy under this watch, you know, that this place don't be destroyed. Go ahead,
okay. Says, she that bear you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness and a dry land and a desert.
That's dealing with America. Go ahead.
Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate every
Where you read, what verse that is?
This is verse 13.
Now hold that and go back to the article where you left off.
All right, it says,
and remind you, this hot, fresh off the presses, man. This was released not 48 hours ago. So right now, we in the spirit of prophecy, man. We telling you what's going on. And we blowing the trumpet, man. We showing you what Yahweh Shemiah Shabbat. This is a marvelous, this is a beautiful piece of work, man. The Lord is alive and well, man. See? Now go back to that article then. Go ahead.
It says the world opposes every decision made by Trump.
The world opposes every decision made by Trump. Now go back to the scriptures.
That is Jeremiah 50:13. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow.
Right. So this can be filtered through the scriptures what we read in this article. You see how accurate the scriptures is? The scriptures say, set yourself in array round about Babylon, all you that bend the bow, which is dealing with the missiles. All right? Now, we just read in this article, which is current news. We didn't make this up. We ain't concoct. It's not like we wrote the article. See what I'm saying? This was written, that's a reliable source right there, The Guardian, which is other articles. We just chose The Guardian, but it's other articles. You can go to BBC, you can go to Current News, and you can see where Trump and these sanctions is affecting not only his enemies, but his allies. So when the scripture says, set yourself in array against Babylon round about, that's a direct correlation with what we read in this article, man. That's the beginning stages of that. Yep. So finish off what you read in the scriptures, then go back to the article.
God says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord.
Right. And she sinned against the Lord, and it's obvious, man. Because the Lord got laws, statutes, and commandments in play. And in this devil, through his legislations, he write laws contrary to what Yahweh Shemiah set up. So go back up.
It says the world opposes every decision made by Trump, Iranian state quoted Khamenei, a shock cleric with ultimate authority in Iran, and saying during a meeting with thousands of students, America's goal has been to reestablish the domination it had before 1979, but it has failed. America has been defeated by the Islamic Republic over the past 40 years.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says on Saturday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hailed Trump for reimposing sanctions against their mutual foe. Thank you, President Trump, for this historic move. The sanctions.
Hey, somebody get that the least of the flock.
Okay.
Somebody find that least of the flock should go because it's Netanyahu guy, which we affectionately call him Netanyahu Jew. He is in they basically a welfare case for America. America is guard over Israel, and Russia is guard over Iran. that really is almost like this, just to simplify for everybody out there. It's like if I'm a gang and I got a rival gang I'm beefing with, right? We might come to an agreement, but then amongst that gang is two high heads. And when we get in the same spot, those two high heads bump heads, and they force the big gangs to just jump in. That's Iran and Israel. You know? So Russia is a guard over Iran, and America is a guard over Israel. And those two hot heads keep bumping heads. See? So if y'all, you got that? You're bringing that.
It's on Jeremiah 50 verse 45. Therefore he.
You notice it's in the same scripture we pulled out. You can't make this up, man. Go ahead.
It's on Jeremiah 50, verse 45. Therefore, hear you the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, that he had taken against Babylon.
And what's Babylon? America, man. All right, for all you people out there. That's not talking about ancient Babylon, man. That's talking about modern day Babylon, which when you go into that word Babylon, there in the Hebrew, it goes back to the word Babal, which means confusion, man. And it's proof because you can read about ancient Babylon. Well, why when you read, first of all, you go into Isaiah 47 chapter, it says daughter of Babylon. Is that Psalms 137. Then, if that's not enough, go to the book of Revelation. What is Babylon being talked about for? Because that's dealing with America. Go ahead, Al.
And he that take against Babylon and his purpose, that he had purposed it against the land of the Chaldeans.
Right, and that's dealing with Yahweh Shai. The Lord have a certain purpose. Matter of fact, hold that and give me Jeremiah 30 and 24. And what the Lord say, when we just read that, it said the council, right? This is a council. So if you get agitated, you know, because we going in the scriptures, you feel the pressure like, damn, this is like school. You want something exciting. Well, this ain't for you, man. This is a counsel. This is knowledge coming out. So we go to the scriptures. All right, so give me Jeremiah 30 and 24.
This is Jeremiah 30 and verse 24. The fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it.
And that's what you're witnessing. So go back where you just read from.
Start back over. It's on Jeremiah 50, verse 45 again. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, that he had taken against Babylon, and his purpose, that he may purpose it against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
And who is the least of the flock? Those Israelites, those gutter rats. They're going to bring America to the border. Matter of fact, go to Obadiah real quick. Y'all know what I want about Obadiah. Is that Obadiah what I want? Draw them even to the border?
I think that's it.
Now the scripture saying right there, the least of the flock is going to draw you out. Meaning they're going to compel you to come out and participate in World War III. That's why we read right here. Netanyahu came out in the article. And he instigates shit. Yeah. Good move, Trump. See? You can't, hey, you start playing this all go with the scriptures, man. The scripture's a mirror. It's a mirror to what's going on in the current events, man. All right? So go ahead, what you got?
Now, you Obadiah verse 7. All the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. That
means that brings you to the brinks of war. You got like if you finna fight a guy, you know the old saying, you draw the line in the sand, you cross that line, it's on. Well, that's what they did. They brought him to the border, to the brinks of just an all-out fight. And that's what these gutter rats gonna do with America, man. Go ahead.
The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, that they eat thy bread, have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Read that again.
This is Obadiah verse 7 again. It says, all the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, that they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Right there. If it's that's spirit, man.
God, this is Obadiah verse 7 again. It says, all the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee.
What is that? Do it. You got a comment? That's spirit. I ain't seen none, man. I ain't seen none. Spirit heavy, man.
It's Obadiah verse 7 again. It says, all the men of that confederacy.
Hey, man, y'all about to call. Hey, call.
God. Go ahead. And since all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Right, meaning what? America's allies is going to turn on her, man. And even the whole idea of Israel bringing America to the border, to the brinks of war, that shows that the Lord is using all these different nations to instigate America's destruction, man, to play a part in America's destruction, one way or another. So that means there's no way America's going to backpedal out of this shit, man. All right? Yep, so go ahead.
There is none understanding in him.
Go ahead. That was it on that? Yeah, so you go back to the, unless somebody got a precept?
That kind about this.
Go ahead.
They turn on America. It's Revelation 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat of her flesh, and burn her with fire.
Right, it said these shall hate the whore. All right, matter of fact, somebody go to that blue letter for Revelation 17 chapter. What is it, Revelation 17, what you read?
16.
All right, read it one more time, but just hold it on deck. We're going to go back to the article. Just hold it on deck and look through that right there. Because there's some meat in there right there. Revelation 17 chapter. Yep.
Yeah, cuz I go back to the let's see, go back to on Saturday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said held Trump for imposing sanctions against their mutual foe. Thank you, President Trump, for this historic move.
The weakest of them shall draw them out. Or what is the scripture? The smallest of them or something? Shall draw them out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beginning stages of that. See that? This guy coming and he's cheerleading Trump. Like, yeah. You know? And what you think that's going to prompt Russia to do? Russia got to defend Iran. And they tell you that in Ezekiel the 38th chapter. Matter of fact, somebody hold that on there. Ezekiel 38, you know exactly where that out? Matter of fact, go ahead and grab it. Because like the analogy we made, you know, those, it's like two big brothers or two gangs, two opposing gangs, and you got two hotheads in each gang. And if they all show up at the bar, everybody can be cool, but them two hotheads, they're going to get it set off. Then they're going to prompt everybody else to jump in. So that's the dynamic between Iran and Israel. See, this simple, man. No, but we don't expect everybody to register with everybody. Only those who Yahweh Shem Yahushua is dealing with through the Spirit. All right, so go ahead, out.
This is Ezekiel chapter 38, and I'm gonna start at verse 4, and it says, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and from all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords."
And that's symbolic to the nuclear missiles, man. This is not a game, man. The Lord is stirring up the nations to bring about this marvelous work, man, which is going to come in the form of World War III, man. All right, go ahead, It
says Persia, Ethiopia.
Persia, the first on the list. Give me Second Ezra. You know what I want. You know what I want. It's time for us to go into the meat of this thing, man. Now, with the article we're going into, who is the center of attraction? The Persians, the Iranians. The Iranians is the Persians, man. All right? So get what you got. I think start at 28 verse something.
Yeah, the second Ezra 15 and verse 28. Behold, in horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also, the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go.
Hold on, it's also the who?
The Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood.
Now, the Carmanians, when you go into the Carmanians, that's dealing with the Iranians, man. Now, I'm going to pull this up real quick. I got different sources right here. There's a lot of different sources dealing with the Carmanians. Let me see it real quick. Read that one more time.
I'm starting verse 29 again. It says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of men shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also, the Carmanians raging in wrath.
It said also the Carmanians raging in wrath, right? Now, I got the definition from the Wikipedia, which, you know, before we even started this live stream, we was going into all sorts of sources dealing with the Carmanians. And it all went back to who the Persians was. In one source we found actually mentioned Elon. All right? But I'm going to just go to the Wikipedia just to simplify it, all right? It says Carmanian, Old Persian. See? Carmania, Middle Persian, is a historical region that approximately corresponds to the modern province of Kerman, was the province of Seleucid, the Sasanian Empire. The region bordered Persia. See? Meaning what? That's dealing with the modern day Iranians. Because you can do your own fact check. You can go into your research. Iran was referring to themselves as the Persians all the way up until like I can't remember the date, maybe the late 70s or 80s or something.
Late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, something like that. See, so the Persians is a direct correlation with the Iranians, which is the Carmanians, man. You see? So the scriptures, just like we read earlier, you know, at the top of this lesson, none shall want her mate. The scriptures give you a direct breakdown, and everything that's happening in current events can be filtered through the scriptures, man.
That's right.
All right? So read that again when you had up.
But I said, also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood.
Yeah, the wild boar can't be controlled. And that's the Iranians. Matter of fact, it's I think it happened a year ago. But the Iranians, right? They you know how like you have your Senate, and you have the people up in the Senate, like the House, where they live House and they represented. They was in there burning American flags like thugs, man. Remember that? So that's wild boars. They was in there wilding out. So the scripture's on point, man. Yeah, go ahead, huh?
It says, and with great power shall they come.
Yeah, and that's dealing with their nuclear missiles. Right?
And join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
And what's the portion? Israel. Israel is a portion of the land of the Assyrians. 1935. Oh, 1935, Brian? What you got? Let me see what you got. Where did that? Yeah. You can bring that out. I'll bring that out. That's some good information right there. Name the source.
This just a regular Google. Just simply Google Iran's name change, and it says, what was the old name of Iran? Name of Iran in the Western world, Persia, or one of its gates. It says was historically the common name for Iran on the Norix of 1935.
Let me see. What is that right?
Got it. Yep.
I think, see, in 1959, see, it's a read from right there. This also changed.
All right. It says this also changed the usage of the term of Iran nationally and the common objective for citizenship of Iran changed from Persia to Iran in 1959.
Right, so they officially changed their name from Persia to Iran in 1959. So all that time, they was identifying and associating themselves with the ancient Persians of the Bible, man. So what the hell you niggas come off talking about some Islam or, you know, the Quran? You got a whole nation of people that actually identified themselves with a nation that's known in the Bible, man. See what I'm saying? See how simple niggas can be? But Iran is in the middle of this whole thing, and the Lord using them to, you know, to be at the forefront. All right, okay. So go ahead up.
Yeah, Khan, this is I think that was the point.
That was it on it. Then you go back into more of that.
Yeah, okay, Khan. Yeah, it says, continuing on that from that quote, it says, the sanctions are indeed coming. It said Netanyahu said in the statement, presumably in reference to the U.S. president's Game of Thrones style tweet earlier, for years I've been calling for sanctions to be fully reimposed against Iran's murderous terrorist regime, which threatens the entire world.
Right, so this guy Trump is set up to stir up the nations, man. All right, matter of fact, somebody give me Zephaniah 3 and 8. Because you got to remember, and somebody get that, I believe that Proverbs 21. Somebody can get that. 21. Is that 21?
21 and 1.
The hand of the Lord. Yeah. Matter of fact, bring that out first.
Yeah, because it's Proverbs 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. Mm-hmm. As the rivers of the water, he turneth whatsoever he will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's Proverbs 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of the water, he turneth whatsoever he will.
Right, so the Lord is in control of all the minds of these kings. When you go into the word heart there, in the Hebrew is law, which means what? Your mind. So the Lord is the one that's actually working on the minds of these kings. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, since we read that, go to back to Revelation 17 chapter. And I think that's 17 for the 18th verse. Where it said the Lord had put it into their mind.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is this Revelation 17 to 17. Mm-hmm. It says, "For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill His will."
See, in their hearts is their mind. Mm-hmm. The Lord's working on the minds of these different kings to fulfill His will. Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead. Somebody got that Zephaniah too, right?
3 and 8.
Yeah, 3 and 8. Yep. Finish what you got first, then we just write Zephaniah.
It says, "For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill His will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled."
Right, so everything gotta happen, you know. So go what you got out, Zephaniah.
It's Zephaniah 3 verse 8. "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, Yahweh shall shine to the day that I rise up to the prey.
Mm-hmm.
For my determination is to gather the nations."
See, my determination is to gather the nations. So that's what you're saying happening, man. The Lord is gathering all these nations, and they bolstering and they flexing their muscle, if you will, showing their military might, and there's different skirmishes breaking out, whether it's in the form of which tomorrow, and you notice, right, what happened tonight? What was it last night? Esau turned the clock an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how convenient that happened. Now Monday we wait on the sanctions to happen. See? The Lord working, man. Go ahead.
"But my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation."
Right, so the Lord gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The Lord gonna get everybody in one room so He can bring judgment. Go ahead.
"Even all my fierce anger, while the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy."
Yeah. And that's dealing with what? The nuclear missiles. Mm-hmm. So, go ahead. What you got?
Yeah, precept cover that.
Yep, go ahead. What you got?
Yeah, because it's Jeremiah 50 and verse 9. "For lo, I will rise and cause, for lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon, the assembly of great nations from north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her, and thence shall be taken The arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man.
So it say what? They're gonna set themselves around about her, right? Meaning what? The nation's gonna gang up on this whore. What?
From thence she shall be taken. The arrows shall be as one of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain.
And that's dealing with the missiles. Now, since he brought that out, I'll get Revelation 17. What do you got? Over there in the blue letter?
Yeah, come read it.
Yeah. And then if you see something in there, bring it up.
It's Revelation 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns with thy sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
And that's what I was just basically reading. These different nations are going to set themselves in array against this whore. Why? Because she committed adultery. And I'm going to hit y'all with a nugget. I don't want to say they hit, but you know what I mean. Pretty much, when you read the scriptures, remember the woman, the adulterer, she committed adultery. And they surrounded her with stones, man. Remember that? So guess what? That's how the nation's gonna do America. They're gonna surround her with stones, man. Because she's an adulterer. And they're gonna lay them stones on her. See? So get what you got real quick up.
Yeah, this the word whore.
Matter of fact, read the scripture again up.
Okay.
Again, get what you got.
It's on Revelation 17, 16 again. And the 10 horns without and the 10 horns without saws upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. So the word whore goes on Strong's G. G42004 is a parana. And it goes into Babylon, Rome, the chief seat of idolatry. The word whore goes to Babylon, Rome, the chief sheet of idolatry.
Woo! And hey, that's the spirit. Just like we said, remember when the guys surrounded her? She was caught in the act of adultery. Then Yahweh exonerated her. But America won't be exonerated. They was caught in the act of adultery, and the Lord is raising up the other nations to surround her and pelt her ass with stones.
God.
Which is going to be that's why the scripture speaks about whoever shall roll a stone, it shall return on his head. That's somebody to the nuclear missile. See? And if somebody can find that Adonia, you know what I'm talking about? Wait. Yeah, get a little bit more on that article, then you can get that. If anybody else got a precept?
I want to finish it off.
Okay, come. Now I'll finish that off, and then we'll go back to the article. And y'all get all the precepts I got. Make sure y'all get them out.
Because finish off in Revelation 17:6. And the 10 horns with that saws upon the beast, these shall have.
And now that's heaven. The 10 horns. When you go into NATO now, which the Apostle you went into like the ECC, the economical, the EU, the European Union, the Roman club, the Club of Rome. All this it goes back to Esau. The paper trail goes back to Esau. That's why that was beautiful what the art brought out. The definition was what? Rome and Babylon. See, which is a direct correlation with the so-called white man. Let's just say that was talking about us, right? It'll say Zion. You know what I mean? It'll say Zion and whatever words that's associated, that stigma that's associated with Israel. All right? If you was to go into Moab, you had certain words that's associated with Moab. So what's associated with Esau? Goddamn Rome, Greek, and Babylon. Like I brought up in Psalm 137, man. So you vocab alone can't get around that, man. All right? No matter how much you people in your feeble attempts, you can vehemently, we wish you would come See, the thing is, you guys, you really don't want to come into this arena and deal with us. You just throw your little shots from afar. We wish you motherfuckers would, excuse my language, but we wish you would come and deal with us, you know, on an intellectual level. Okay? We're going to go right to the scriptures and show you where you the Edomites. All right? So, Slaki, go back to where you at up. Did you finish that up?
Yeah, I'm finish it up.
Come.
It's Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast.
Oh, and that's what I wanted to mention. The 10 horns right now, NATO is anywhere from 24 to 28 countries. But it started off as 10. That's why we read that in Daniel, where it said it break it in pieces. Because those 10 nations was broke up into pieces as time went along. For example, like some of these different nations, like and let me see if I can't think of them right off the head, but some of these different nations they was a part of another nation, you know, before they was broke off. Like, not even dealing with the EU, let's just say like Russia. When you deal like the Soviet Union, yeah, like the Republic of Georgia and Ukraine, they was all once a part of the Soviet Union. Union means what? One. Unit. You know what I mean? So that's why, see, it takes wisdom to get to the source of the problem. Because see, Esau, they slick. They try to break up everything. So when you read the scripture, you say, hold up, it's 24 nations here. How come the scripture say 10? But see, the Lord put the spirit on us to go and study. We say, you know what? Those 24, 28 nations stem from 10 nations. That's all. All right? So go ahead, Al.
I'll finish it off. It's Revelation 17, verse 16 again. The 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, ye shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
And that fire is what? Symbolic to those nuclear missiles, man. That's what that's dealing with. All right, what you want to go into that?
Just the definition for desolate.
Yeah, the definition for desolate is Strong's G.
Matter of fact, you know what? Let's do this. You remember you went into the definition of where you whore. It said Babylon wrong. You get that, and you get the definition of naked. I mean, whatever you just asked for. And this gonna prove right here that ancient Babylon is not already destroyed. This talking about the modern Babylon right here. All right. So you get what you got first up.
This is on the definition of whore.
This is the definition for whore. All right. Go ahead.
It's on the Strong's G 4204. And goes into of Babylon, Rome, the chief seat of idolatry.
Of Babylon, Rome, the chief seat of idolatry, which is intangible with Idumea, Edom, Esau, the so-called white man. All right? And you Rothschild, you know, these bankers watching, man, somewhere or another. They probably got the screen with they probably got 50 monitors, and they got motherfuckers watching, you know what I mean? Like, you might want to hear this, you know what I mean? But it says Babylon and Rome, all right? Now, where was you looking up at that same precept?
I got the word desolate. It's Strong's G 2049 Iramo. All right, if I'm pronouncing it right. The definition is to make desolate, lay waste, to ruin, bring to desolation, to despoil one, strip her of her treasures.
And that's dealing with America, man. All right? When you go to, I think there's Ecclesiastes or Proverbs, the 7th chapter, it goes right into it and lets you, it clearly goes into America right there. Right? That's a power. Matter of fact, you in the blue letter, go in the blue letter to Matthew 24 and 34. Matthew 24 and 34. because according to like vocab alone and different Edomites out there, those who come up against this truth, right? They think is what Edomites already done away with.
Mm-hmm.
But that's impossible, man. Matter of fact, give me Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter and the last verse, right quick. Give me Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter and the last verse, and we'll go to what we got. What we got?
This Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and in verse 1 says, "So I return and consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the tears of such the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter, and on the side of the
last verse, Ecclesiastes 4 and the last verse.
Oh God, this is Ecclesiastes 4:16. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them."
Right, there's no end of all the people. So how is the Edomites? How did the Edomites come to an end?
Mm-hmm.
That can't happen until the Lord sanctions it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Finish it off.
It says, "They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit."
So there's no end to all the people. If I plant a seed, that seed gonna continue to grow. Ain't no way you can stop that. You know what proved that? This devil Cristobal Colon. When you read his memoirs, in a 4-year campaign, he killed 1 million natives a year. He almost committed genocide. But did he do it? No. See what I'm saying? The natives stayed here. So, what we saying?
Matthew 24 and 34.
Yeah. Read that and then go into the, I think, is that generation? Read that real quick.
It's St. Matthew's 24 and verse 34. It says, "Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled."
Now go into the word generation. The definition is a straight point. Through spirit, I was going into this today. So that's why I remember it. But when you go into that, you got the definition pulled up. I want you to go to whatever you go to. Now, that's what I want right there. Yeah, especially, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This the word
for generation.
Generations, Strong's G1074, geni or genie. It says, in a bad sense, a perverse nation.
See? So when the Lord said this generation shall not pass, so all these things will fear, that means he's going to come back in his time. So who is the perverse nation? Esau. So wouldn't they be here today? Period. So ain't no way you can get around it. Esau is here today, man. All right? So let's go back to this article right quick. Yeah, unless y'all got another precept. Go back to this article. Well, since that happened, go back to Revelation 17 chapter. We'll end off on that.
All right, this is Revelation 17 and 16 again. "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire."
And what's that fire? The nuclear missiles. And you can't get around the fact that the Lord put the spirit on these different nations to have that arsenal, that military arsenal, those nuclear missiles. And it was all done to fulfill the will of Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. All right, go ahead on.
Verse 17, "For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdoms unto the beast."
Now, when you read, go to Galatians 6 and 7. Then this is another scripture that come to mind. Get Galatians 6 and 7 first, but going into the fact that Esau has Esau by the same. Give me the blessing. Give me that blessing.
Okay.
Genesis, yeah. So, yep. So somebody get Galatians 6 real quick. And then we get that Genesis.
This is Galatians 6 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
It says, be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Right, so if you plant oranges, you get oranges back. Esau planted what? War and destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Did they not bomb those groups?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how Esau going down. So give me Genesis real quick. We're going to make a quick point out of that.
Here comes Genesis 27. I'm going to go to the point in verse 40.
Mm-hmm.
And by thy sword shalt thou live,
Mm-hmm.
and thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Mm-hmm. So the scripture said what? By thy sword thou shalt live. Meaning what? That's his blessing, right? So, like we brought out at camp the other day, if you a guy, let's say Steph Curry or one of these NBA guys, you blessed with a jump shot, you're gonna resort to that. You're gonna live, and it's a saying. That's a saying in basketball. You live and die by the jump shot. Or this team live and die by the three ball. So that blessing is gonna be the rise and the fall. It's gonna be the cause of you falling and rising, because that's attached to you. That's your blessing. Like a guy, he might, his go-to punch might be an uppercut. Well, that uppercut gonna knock some guys out, but that's gonna be the cause of him dying too. Because he's gonna send that uppercut one day, and somebody gonna counter it. But the point is, he's gonna revert to his blessing. So that sword, you came in the power of it. But you gotta live with that. You're gonna die by that, because you're gonna gravitate to the sword. All means necessary. When you die or when you come into power, it's gonna be by the sword. See, read that one more time.
And I'll read it again. I got a definition of reap, so you read it again.
Oh, kind. Yeah, go back to get that Galatians 6 first, then I can get the definition. Then you, what that was?
Genesis 27.
Yeah.
This Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Yeah, and I got a word for reap in the Strong's G 2325. The word is
Strong's G 2325.
Therito. And it says cut off, destroy. As crops are cut down with a sickle.
So it's a saying. The same thing make you cry. The same thing make you laugh, make you cry. That's your blessing. You know what I mean? Somebody get Matthew 26 and 52 real quick. I don't know if y'all got more information over there. I don't give it. Whoever can get Matthew 26, 52.
It's St. Matthew's 26 and 52. Then said Yahushua unto him, put up again thy sword into its place. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword.
See, and that's dealing with Esau. So Esau actually lived by the sword, That's why I challenge anybody. You talk to an Edomite out there and you ask them, what you feel about World War III and this, that, and the third. To a man, they're gonna say, you know what? We good. We got the best military in the world. Why? Because they trust on the sword. See? But that's gonna be the very thing to take them out. So what you got?
Oh yeah, going back, we'll bring back to the sword. This was on Solomon, chapter 2, and verse 17. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him.
And that's dealing with who Esau. That's the thought process of the so-called white man. Go ahead.
And deliver him from the hand of his enemy. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture.
Yep.
That we may know his meekness and prove his patience.
Yep. So Esau, we were actually going into that. Esau ain't gonna sit down and go, let's have a battle of the minds. Let me pick your brain. They're gonna come up with a way to figure you out by means of torture, by the sword. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you already got that Galatians. Get what you got.
Yeah, Genesis again.
Genesis again, yo.
Yeah, because it's Genesis 27, verse
You
40.
you live by the sword, basically you die by the sword. So go ahead.
And it's Genesis 27, verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou have the dominion, thou shalt break the yoke off his neck, off thy neck.
Mm-hmm.
And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
See, that's the first thing that came to mind. I'm going to slay my brother. He didn't say, let me sit down and see if I can work something out. Because why? His blessing is the sword. And that sentiment rings to this very day. All right? Give me, what's that? Yeah, give me what you got. And then somebody gets Psalms up at 17, chapter 13. All that. You give what you got.
The book of Genesis, chapter 9 and verse 6. Whosoever sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for the image of the Most High have for the image of the Most High made he man.
That's beautiful, because that's the way Esau's gonna go down. The Lord deals with justice. You read that, I think that's Proverbs 11 chapter. It tells you how a false balance is an abomination to Yahweh outside. So if you're a bloody man, then guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna die by. And the Apostle Bob went into some real, it was subtle, but it was heavy. He was going to this guy, Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't know if y'all saw that. But he mentioned the fact that the first murder Jeffrey Dahmer committed, he did it by way of an iron pipe. But he ended up being put to death 13 years later in prison by an iron pipe. So they show you how the Lord get down, you know. Whatever you reap, you sow. So, go ahead, bring it up.
I check the song. Yeah, I got this song's kind. Yeah, this song, chapter 17 and verse 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
See, Esau is the sword of Yahweh Shai, and we're in the time where the Lord about to take that proverbial last swipe at you damn Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And really, it's going to be Esau that's going to set out World War III. And when you go into it, Esau set out World War I and World War II. That was white on white crime. See? So really, the balance of power between Russia and America, that's all the Esau thing, man. Yeah, these devils. That's why they're known as the accusers. They come out with this shit. Chicago, and some damn statistics about a nigga getting shot in Chicago. That don't measure up to all the murder in the form of World War I, World War II. That was white on white crime, man. So you devils is the sword, man. Somebody give me that. I think you got the scripture.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And somebody get Revelation the 6th chapter. You know we're talking about the horse that took away peace from the earth.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, because it said you live by the sword, you die by the sword. America is built on blood and destruction and violence, man.
That's right.
That's how it's going to be thrown down. This is Revelation 18, and I'm starting at verse 20. It says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High avenged you on her. Mm-hmm. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all.
Right, and that's how they're going to be taken down. But why? Because that's the way they came up. It say that too. Is that Numbers the 30?
I got it. 35.
Bring it up.
This Numbers 35, verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that it sheddeth therein, but by the blood of him that sheddeth it.
Yeah. So the only way things can be rectified with Esau in the eyes of Yahweh Shemashai is he got to go down the same way he came up. Just like the scripture talk about where we quoted, you roll a stone, it's going to fall on your head. The very snare and the very trap that he set is going to fall back on his head. All right, so somebody got a Revelation 6.
Yeah. It's Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red.
That was what?
That was red.
That was red. That was written for your entertainment.
God.
Right? That goes back to Esau. Go ahead.
And power was given to him that set thereon to take peace from the earth.
And that's all this devil did since he's been on the planet Earth, man. All right, World War I, World War II, World War III was all instigated and perpetuated by the so-called white man. Go ahead.
It says, and that they should kill one another, and that there was given unto him.
That's why you got guns and knives and
God.
Esau, man. Go ahead.
And there was given unto him a great sword.
Great. And that goes back to the blessing.
Come on.
So yeah, anybody that got something?
I'll bring this up.
Go ahead.
It's Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past. And behold, the third woe coming quickly.
What's the third woe? They're dealing with World War III, man. You got these simple niggas up in Chicago, them ITI niggas, talking about show me World War III in the scriptures. Well, what the fuck that's talking about?
God.
See, but hey, you really can't get mad because the Lord blinded you. You know? So, you got someone? You know, look up now? Everything good? I got some. Yeah, so hey man, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahusha, Wahab, Rakab, Wadash.
Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom, you sincere brothers out there laboring in this work. Till the next time, say Shalom.
Shalom.
DTA.
Monsters, man.
You must.
They say 94.
Yeah. Hey, 94, that went bad. I know at one time it was 20-some people watching that one.
Hey, bring that out what you were saying about Ishmael.
Man, we said,
I was at an article I looked up.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same one thing. We were saying how they're saying they're the richest country with oil.
Okay.
So Ishmael was best with their oil.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you know we got the gas and shit.
Yeah.
The Lord on I said go about the way.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, because this man got blessed too.
Yeah, God.
And that's why a lot of times saying, that's why they get mad. Esau blood so they trying to get all their oil, you know, their resources and shit.
Yeah.
That's why they rising up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
stuck
in
the
the
green
Blood
sucker.
And I said, you know, they sold us to them. So it's payback on them because Esau with them. Hey, let me get more of that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna come back and do what they did to us. So you could say, hey, no, I ain't just sell them. I know them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But you know,
That
promises.
out. Yeah.
Like, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's possible. Well, hey, because your phone get today, they won't let me get to it.
All the sons of Ishmael.
I was going to say so.
I said Ishmael, all the sons of
Yeah, Ishmael there, 13. Yeah, 13. So. Like, how many, you said 94?
You know, here say 94, but on the phone it said 81.
Yeah, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. There's people coming on the coming board too, though. One brother, so, yeah, it said 81 online on the phone. I was gonna try to tell him something wrong, but I can't do it for myself.
But that's like what the brother said. You continue to you out broken sisters that can hold on water, man. Okay? I mean, you constantly try to attach yourself to a society that has failed generations.
Right there. Well, when they got them braids.
You're not gonna have the
first time I seen it, I was glad.
I would have that fur out.
Your generations later. Okay? You don't have the bright.
Fro was big as hell when I first seen y'all. Because he cut it down or something.
I know what we can do. We can vote. America's still been doing that. Right. America's still gonna be destroyed, bro. Still. Martial law is still coming. Family still coming.
Yeah, I'm taking off tomorrow, goddamn. I got a vacation day. You know, I done worked 3 months, goddamn. I got a sick day. Called them all the time. I got a migraine. I'm sick. I got the hours out. I got a toothache in his leg too.
That time, man, I got a stomach bug, man. It's bad chicken. That's it works.
I'm like that.
Hey, I get the comment on the bottom.
Yeah, I had 3 months.
Yeah, you got a vacation day too.
I got vacation and a half a day.
See what it is? It's 4 hours. It's 4 hours a month. So I done been there 3 months. I got a day.
I had to wait a whole year to get the vacation.
Oh,
A whole year.
I said 4 months up. I said 4 hours a month.
That shit just restarted.
The thing with ours, like, it can't spill over the next year.
Yeah,
I take that motherfucker. I'm gonna call it over about 9 too.
I said just restart.
My shit gonna be orchestrated. I ain't gonna call it early when work starts. I'm gonna wait till like 9. I was trying to get there. I got the worst toothache in the world. That's it.
Yeah. I can wait till I get vacation days.
Damn, America be destroyed.
I had waiting the whole fucking year for that. Man, and like last year I used them all early as fuck.
Yeah.
Had to wait, but they just now restarting again though. I say some crazy shit, man. Every time something crazy, you know what I mean? My knee went out on me again, man.
Yeah, then you come to work with that damn knee brace on.
The day before you take off, come with a knee brace.
Come back
Open the elbow, I should have did Friday with a hospital. Hospital, man.
I got like 3 more months till I get mine though. Yeah, but I'm finna go to another shift, so they gonna be calling me in like a motherfucker. Man. I'm gonna be flat like one nigga, cuz a eater Mike. This nigga, he don't come to work with none. His shit, he been working there for like 20 years. His vacation days built up.
Oh yeah,
he said nigga like once a week, man. And he'll come in. Yeah. And they came in on Monday. He was like, yeah, I'll see you next Wednesday. He saw so sweet.
damn.
Yeah, you're real down, man. I had myself built on that. I was popping up hospital, man, the day before. You know what's going to happen now. I ain't going to be in this bitch this week. I'm sick. I've been getting over tonight.
Well, I think, it should be this and this and this and that. That's the result of democracy, man. Now you got people out here that's they abortions.
Jared Hoffman.
Tonight?
Well, that was all the liquor one.
Oh, it was in the morning. I
Shit, I'm good. I'm good. I was just wondering, goddamn. I'm nice out there.
Yeah.
I'm glad it stopped raining.
I can see shit coming
I
up there.
can't really see shit.
You gotta go to the store.
Do. This the county head chat. Sent his shit through the temp. He letting everybody know on the county. He's doing a live show. Oh, okay. See the county head chat. Oh, so he sent the message and everybody. This the link. You can go straight to the county. Oh, okay. I might start doing that. Shit. Oh, that's it. Yeah, I don't want to do that shit.
Yeah,
everybody getting no
attention.
That's
what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't saying
no, but still.
I just don't want.
That's what they're gonna do.
Fuck around.
Everybody know you.
I'll be on there. Hey man, what y'all doing?
Oh, you got it. Let me see. I got it. Goddamn, you go. I just want to make a phone call. Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm going to take that motherfucker right there. Fuck that.
God, yeah.
I'm working shit, man. That shit I'm
real. I know Veterans Day will be coming up and everything.
Sure, we're doing that.
Veterans Day.
Yeah, no, bitch going to follow that shit.
Oh yeah, I can't wait till like Thanksgiving and shit. You get a couple days on.
Yeah, man.
Can't wait till them days.
Yeah, I don't know. They still do Veterans Day. You be off on the day though.
They still do it for Thanksgiving though, don't it? Thanksgiving you get like 2 days on it.
Man, shit, not me.
Shit.
Man, tell you, man, I'm up.
Yeah, two, at least 2.
Yeah, it all depends. It fall on the Thursday, maybe.
Man, my fucking boss hit me.
I think we gonna be working on that shit.
My boss gave me a fucking turkey and said, come in, goddamn, tomorrow, goddamn.
Yeah, motherfucker, rotisserie.
He gave me a turkey.
Are you trying to do it? Turkey down. Yeah, we gotta do it again.
But guess what? You still got to come in fried and shit. I'm like, damn. Oh, you got shit, I think Renard, you know. You got it.
I know.
I gotta give me another drummer, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it don't cost too much. Shit, still got no material. You got some material left? What color? How much you got left?